My name is Lawyer Otari, and I am the supervisor with the Employment Service in Catholic Charities of Dallas in the Refugee Service Department. Today, I have my friend Getachew Tasso, who has been in the Catholic Charities for 29 years. I was pretty little changing diapers when Getachew started to work with Catholic Charities of Dallas. He worked as a program manager, program supervisor, coordinator, job counselor, financial coach, job developer, and he knows about 500 employers, companies in Dallas, and he is the expert in finding job for anybody, maybe he also in future. Today, we will mainly go in detail about the employment service. And employment means helping refugees clients, especially who came to this country as a refugee or asylees or Cubans status. That part we will deal with in detail. How we help them, what are their barriers, what are the challenges we face, what are the challenges the companies face to help them find job and help them to retain the employment for a longer period. The Catholic Charities of Dallas, this is the website, and the front page we have 4 main programs: children, family and senior services, immigration and legal service, refugee services, and financial stability and career services. Today we will not talk about all this. We'll talk only about refugee service, and under refugee service we'll talk about employment only. And also we will talk about the overview of services under refugee service. What are the different services we provide? Also the population we serve. Who do we serve? People from which country? And also the cultural orientation and importance of that, why we do, why it is important for employment perspective, and also the employment service. And in detail, Getachew is going to talk about employment when his turn comes. You may have questions about Syrian refugees and maybe refugees from Middle East, but today we will not talk about it. It is very sensitive and we would like to answer those questions, but you will get better answer from the resettlement director who direct that program, Ervil Knox, and her phone number and email address is there. So if you have any questions anytime in future, you can email her, you can call her. So who we serve in Catholic Charities of Dallas? Before we do that, I would like to tell you that we serve anybody. As long as they have the status of refugee, they have the status of asylee, or they have the status of Cuban paroled. We don't ask what is their religion. We don't ask their nationality. We don't ask all those questions. We just ask them, what is your status? What is your immigration status now? So if they're refugee, okay, welcome to Catholic Charities. We help them. For employment, we pay their rent for a certain period of time. If they are Cubans, yes, we help them. If they are asylee, asylum status if they have, we'll help them. But we don't ask about the religion. The service we provide when they have the eligible documents, let's say refugee documents, let's say a Cuban parole documents, or asylum status they have granted by the USC as officers. So when they have those documents, we not only provide employment service, we also help them to set up their apartment. We furnish their apartment with furnitures. We buy food for them. We provide the donated items, donation from maybe your college, donation from someone else, we give to them. We do provide cash assistance for 4 months, little like $200 a month. We help them to budget that money. We also do case management, counseling, financial coaching, and cultural orientation. So before we go into the employment service, let's talk about the cultural orientation, why it is important. How many of you know who are refugees, from which country they come from? How many of you know who are refugees? No one? Refugees.
Like, I don't know where all of them come from, but I imagine, like you said, Cuba, imagine like Central Africa, I don't know, just generally places that are kind of having a really hard time.
Yeah, Cuba, Central Africa, yes.
At St. Patrick's, the church that I go to, I know there's a lot of refugees from like Ethiopia, Nepal?
Yes, that is true. Refugees come from actually all over the world. Okay, Africa, Asia, Middle East, South America. So it can be Cubans, it can be Ethiopian, it can be Iraqi, it can be Indian, it can be Afghanistani, it can be Bhutanese or Nepalese or Burmese. So people from all over the world where they have political crisis, they leave their country and they come. They stay in refugee camp, and when they get approval to come here, when they pass all security checkups, then they come to United States. So when they come here, they have different culture there. They don't have health insurance there. They don't have transportation system that we have here. They don't have the housing system like we have here. They are living in a small hut. For example, let me tell you about myself. I did not tell you at the beginning. I came from Nepal, and I stayed in Nepal for 17 years in refugee camp. I was 8 years old when I came to Nepal from Bhutan. Bhutan is a very tiny, small country in between China and India, north of India and south of China, just near to Tibet. So I had to leave my country when I was 8 years old, stay in the camp in Nepal for 17 years in a small place. And there was the housing system, not like here. No, the floor was mud. The wall was nothing at all, no wall at all. Maybe we used the dirty clothes to just block the wind, and the roof was just plastic. The space was like from here to there maybe. And we were living 7 people together there, my siblings and parents. So when people from those part of the world, like me, when they come to this country, it is really difficult to know what is the culture. What is health insurance? Even we don't have health insurance there. So we explain them what is it, how we enroll into health insurance when you get job. Housing maintenance, there is a lot of things here in the house. There is nothing, just bed, and you cook outside and eat. That's it. No dishwasher, no dryer, nothing else. Not the the what do you call electrical stuff, equipment, appliances, the kitchen appliances. Nothing there. So when you come from that part of the world and you are inside the house where everything is there, so how you can run those? How you can cook food? How you can wash your clothes? How you can use your restroom from the beginning? So it's very difficult. So we teach them how to do those things. Laws. Most important thing is the traffic laws. We do not have traffic back there. If we have, we do not follow the rules, right? Back in, have you seen the traffic in India or in Bhutan or Nepal? Nobody follows traffic. Everybody is moving like crazy and just take over other and go move forward. So they don't follow. Only few places they may. So when they come to this country, if they don't follow, they get tickets. When they get tickets, they do not know where to pay, how to pay. They don't speak English, and they are in problem. So we make sure they know the laws at the beginning. Hey, this is it. You are not in Nepal. You are not in Africa now. You are in US, and you have to strictly follow the rules and regulations. Otherwise, you will get ticket. And when you get ticket, who is going to help you to pay? Where are you going to pay? Long process, complicated, right? So we make sure they know, they understand what is it. The transportation, how many of you ride bus, public transportation here? You do? How was it at the beginning? Is it easy to learn it at the beginning?
It's okay.
Okay, right? For you, it's okay, right? Yeah, it is not easy at the beginning. When I came here as a refugee, I was working in Walmart, and first time I was taught to use it at night, at 9 p.m., at 9:30. And I used Red Line, Parker, Westmoreland. And then next day when I had to go to job, I ended up going towards Parker Road, Plano, instead of going towards downtown. I should have gone to downtown. That was my destination, but I went to Parker. Because I knew only Red Line. I did not read the blue line goes where, red line goes where. So you just lost. And I called Gitacho. He was my case manager. I called Gitacho. Hey, Gitacho, I have to be at work at 10 a.m. and I'm here in Plano Parkway at 10 because I went to the wrong direction. So Gitacho called the company, Walmart, and said, hey, this is my new client, lawyer. He has been in the country for 4 months only. He doesn't know how to use the bus. He's a refugee. Please don't terminate him. Please give him a chance. He's coming back. He lost. So I went back and I reported to the HR at 11. So because that time I spoke English. Like now, I was good. However, for me also it was difficult to use the transportation. However, those clients who are illiterate, however, those clients who do not speak at all, they do not know how to read what is red line. They know only red color. They do not know what is there. It is going to Parker or Westmoreland or downtown, where. So we teach them transportation, how to write it, how to use it. The culture, education, we have free education, the English classes for people who do not speak English. So we provide those free classes to refugees. Employment, Gitazu will talk about it in detail. The budgeting, when they have a job and they have money, how they can manage it. They do not depend upon Catholic charities all the time. We pay rent after 4 months. How about after 4 months? So they make money like $8, $9, they make $2,000 a month. But after that, if they don't manage that money carefully, they will not be able to pay their rent. There are a lot of expenses they don't expect. So we tell them, you have to manage your money. This is your monthly expenses. Make sure you meet that one. When they make $9, they think they will get all that money to their pocket. But how about taxes? How about insurance? So we tell them this is how it works here, not like back in country. Next one. Okay, now there's some differences between job that our refugees or myself, what we do back in our country and what we do here. It is completely different. The job back there in our country or in Africa or in India or Nepal, when we have a job in government sector, like in, let's say, Social Security office or anywhere, when you have job, you retire there. You have job for life. Okay. However, here, let's say you work in Food Stamp office or Catholic Charities of Dallas, you have job as long as you have the budget. When there is no budget, Congress say, hey, we are cutting 2% of the money for the refugees. Your job is gone because you don't have money. So that difference, we have to be able to make them understand what is the difference between job in US, what is the difference between job in your country. I had a client, we placed him in DISD school district as an IT technician. He was from Iraq. After 6 months, he lost the job. He came to me, hey lawyer, I got job in DISD as IT technician. I thought that was the government job. I thought I would retire there. I say, you retire in DISD? It's not like back in your country. Because you got job when they had the money and they needed you. When they finished completed the money, your job is gone. So for educated people also, it takes time to understand the difference between job back in their country and here. The shift, they work only night shift there.
Day shift.
Oh, day shift, I'm sorry. Back in Nepal or Africa or in Burma or Malaysia, they work only daytime from 6 to 6. So they don't have second shift from 3 to 11 now, no night shift. So when they come here, they don't expect to work at night. They are just expecting to work during the daytime. If we tell them, hey, can you work night? What? They say, what? What night? Why night? I have to sleep with my wife, So they just become unhappy. But they understand slowly. We tell them, hey, this is how it works. Because they have children, the husband has to work, wife has to work. So we manage them. Sometimes wife works night and husband works daytime. So that way they can take care of their children. Back in their country, they leave their children. And they play and they come back home. But here, can you leave the children? No. So they have to be under supervision of parents. So that thing we have to make them understand. We go to the next one. Okay, now we will go to the employment in detail. The Gitacho is going to tell you in detail. Before that, let me tell you about myself. When I came here, Gitacho Tasso was my case manager. And at the beginning, he told me, hey, lawyer, I have a job for you in the hotel as a dishwasher. Okay. I had master's degree in physics, mathematical physics. So I was teaching mathematics and physics in college back in India. So when I came here, Gitazu offered me dishwasher job. I said, I have degree, I have recommendation from professors. I will not do dishwasher. He said, you have only 4 months to pay rent. You have 4 months, we will pay your rent. After that, if you don't get job, you will be homeless. So similar to me, all these clients, they come here, they have 4 months. Within 4 months, they have to get their job and pay their rent by themselves. So he said dishwasher, he said Walmart cashier. I said no. I denied up to 3.5 months. So I had only 15 days left to pay rent by myself. And that time, I went back to Gitacho. I left all my degrees back in home, in an apartment, and then I came to him, Gitacho, get me a job in Walmart cashier. So he helped me to get a job in Walmart in cashier. Similar to my siblings, they work in manufacturing companies, manufacture cell phone, the cell phone you have, they did the assembling things. So I'll tell you where we are now at the end if we have time. But hard work pays you. That's what I learned. So now I hand over this to Gitacho, and he will talk about employment, intake and assessment, barriers, how we identify and how we remove them. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Vilaya.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. ጤና ይስጥልኝ. I need an answer from you. What is it? ጤና ይስጥልኝ. Can you say ጤና ይስጥልኝ? ጤና ይስጥልኝ. Could you say ጤና ይስጥልኝ? So that means in my language, how are you doing? Is that peace with you? How is your day? That the language is that one. ጤና ይስጥልኝ. ጤና ይስጥልኝ. እንዴት ዋላችሁ? ጤና ይስጥልኝ. Can you say ጤና ይስጥልኝ? How is it? Is it difficult? ጤና ይስጥልኝ. እንደምን ዋላችሁ? እንደምን ዋላችሁ? Is it difficult to you? Is that difficult? So think about that one, the people that they come to this country and they say in English to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, how it is hard and difficult for them. It's not easy when you leave from here if you go to India or Africa or South America if you don't speak Spanish. How many of you speak Spanish? Oh, so we have good enough. How many you speak Ethiopian language? Nepali, Indian, China, Russian. Okay. So, when you go to those countries that you don't speak their languages, how it is very difficult. The population that we serve in our agency at Catholic Charity are the people that most of them, close to 75-80% of them, they don't speak English. Many of them, they never been even to school. Many of them, they may be housewives that even outside they do not work, they do not do anything except at house, raise kids and take care of their houses. So the population that we serve are this kind of people. As Laya mentioned, when they come to our agency, these people, we have a receptionist. They have to be eligible to work in this country, eligible to live in this country. They have documents. Our receptionist will ask them what kind of service they need. Because as Laya mentioned, we have different kind of services in our agency. We are here today for employment. So, after she find out, we have job counselors, case workers. They are experts, they are trained to serve those people because there are so many different languages. Maybe people, they come from Iraq or from Somalia or from Sudan or from South Africa, America or from Nepal or from other countries. So once she finds out who that client is, then we will find the person who speaks the language of that client. In our staffs, there are 35 languages that we speak. 35 different languages we speak. I speak 4 languages. Leah speak 4 languages. So with that, all our staffs, they speak different languages. So we'll find a person that speaks their native language. Once we get that person, we are going to start intake process. Means if they said, I need employment I want a job. I would like to apply for a job. I need help, somebody to help me to find a job. Then once they come with that kind of question, we will do intake. When we do the intake, we have a form about 24 pages. We have to ask many different kind of questions. The first profile question, the profile one is that makes us to know about our client, about his name, his address, his background, when did he come to the United States, his education, does he have work experience back in his country, does he speak English, how much is his English level, or does not speak zero English. With these people, we will sit down and find out about that client. Based on that, they try to make a trust between the caseworker that serves them and the client. They will communicate, they will find out, are you married, do you have children, what kind of job you want to work, what kind of job you did back in your country, what is your experience, what do you want? Then as Leah said, when he'll come, I need to teach maths and physics, because I had been teaching in India maths and physics. Then, okay, then in here to teach, you need to have to be teaching certificate. So you have to go to community colleges and or college universities, and then you have to get that certificate. Once you get that one, you can apply for a job in many colleges or high schools or elementary schools, then you can teach. Until that, there is no one to pay you rent, so you have to work any kind of job to make money, to make your living, to pay to buy food, to pay your rent, utilities, you name it. So by that time, there is a lot of argument. No, how am I going to work in a dishwasher? How am I going to work at Walmart as a cashier? I was a teacher. I'm a professor back in my country. So I need that kind of job, similar at least to that one. But you could not find with that kind. Or somebody who will come, I was nurse. And somebody who will come, he does not speak English, but he will say, I'm an engineer, electrical engineer. I need that one. Or I'm a civil engineer. I was a petroleum engineer. So, just, they will tell you exactly, they will come with their diploma and certificate. But those people, they don't speak English. If they don't speak English to do the job, they need English classes at least for 6 months, for 1 year, at least to communicate with the people, with the company people, or with their coworkers, with their managers, whatever. So instead to make them that, they have to work and pay their bills, because as Leah mentioned, Catholic Church pays only for 4 months their rent and their utility bills. If they don't work, they could not pay that one. They will be out of their apartment. So within that, we will tell them, accept any kind of job. Laundry, dishwasher, landscaping, you name it. Warehouse, forklift, what do you want to do? Just in the community colleges, they may come, they can start working cleaning. Warehouses, any kind, telephone assembly, this kind of things, they pay $8, $9, $10. So those are the jobs which we offer first. And we know that about 500 companies that they have a relationship with us, and they know about refugee and asylum committee. So we will start, after we convince them, after we assessment how physically they are strong, can they work, are they handicapped, do they have health problems, do they have children, and if they work, who is going to take care of the children? Are they single mothers? We will find out with that one. Transportation, as Leah mentioned, what kind of means of transportation they have. Public transportation, bus, train, or carpool. We arrange carpool sometimes within the company. Who works with that company, we will ask him to take other people so they can pay him for his gas every week. We do that kind of arrangement. Once we did that, identifying and find the barriers first before we place them. Before we do anything, we have to remove the barrier what they have. If it is transportation, we have to find a job on the bus line. If it is child care, we have to find a neighborhood to take care of their children. If it is language communication, we have to find the company that they can access with no English, that there is somebody that who speaks their language within that company. We will do that kind of arrangement. Once we do that one, we start to help them to make job application. Many of them, they don't know how to write their names. And then even within our language, they don't know how to read and write. So we have ASL classes in our program with the Catholic Church, as I mentioned before. We refer them to English class. They will start English class while they are working. Because if they don't work, as I told you, after 4 months, nobody is going to take care of their bills. So what we have to do is, we'll tell them if they work in the day shift, in the evening they have to work. If they work at night shift, the next day they have to come to English class around 10, 11, whatever the schedule is there. Within that, many of them, they do it because it is without English, they could not do anything. And then the job application, we will teach them how to do the job application on paper and plus online. We will try our best for online application. How many of you did the online job application? I think many of you are tried. None of you, the others, you did not try. Have you applied for a job? How many of you tried to apply for a job, part-time job? Oh, okay. So, was that very difficult to fill the application? How was that?
Difficult.
Was that difficult for you to fill the application? And how about the interview time? Did you get interview? How many of you did you get interview? Oh, that's good. That's great. Okay, so did you prepare for your interview? You speak the language, they speak your language, and it was not an easy to get an interview. For our people, they don't know the culture, they don't speak the language. So how it is difficult to sit down and get interview with HR people at a company or hotels. It's very, very hard for them. We explain to them, just like I will be there, he will be like an HR department person, I will be like a client, I am the client, then I will say, we do exercise every day in our office. Before we send out that client a job, we'll tell them, what's your name? Why do you apply for this company? Do you know about this company? How much money are you expected to get? Are you dependable? What means of transportation you have to come to my company? And, look at it, all this one. That client, he doesn't know even where that company address is. And then he will say, he's not going to say anything. So we translate, we interpret by ourselves. We will tell them, this client, he lives at Park Lane in this area and this area. So there is a bus line, there is a train, and then he will come over here. Or we can arrange for him a carpool to come to you on time. And it is not an easy, just that client, we take him to the company by ourselves. We go with them. We do the application. We do the interview. We do the paperwork. We take them to drug test. Once they finish that one, if they are accepted, we will be very happy for them, and we will make follow-up with those people. After all these things, we don't want to lose our client's job within few weeks or months. So we do a big communication between our client and the company HR. We will ask, how is my client doing with you? Is he working good? Is he productive? Is he on time always? They will say, if it is okay with them, we will be happy. Then we will call our client. How are you with the company? No, I don't want to work in that company. It's very hard. Everyone, what they tell me, I don't know. One will pull me here, one push me here, one send me here. We will say, cool down. Until you speak the language, you will face such kind of things. So stay where you are. Be patient. work hard, make money, pay your bills. That is the way you are going to grow. Go to your English class, learn how to drive with a friend or somebody who can help you out. Get your driving license and try to drive. But be safe. Practice more. We don't want you to make any accident outside on the road. We will do all these kind of things. And then once they get the job, we'll make the follow-up for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Once they get the job, they are very productive. Many of the companies, they like to hire a lot of refugees because they are very dependable. You can tell them, to do anything, cleaning, washing, even with their PhD degree. They're very patient, they are very loyal, they are honest, they are trustworthy, so they work. Because of that one, our success of rate, Laya is going to explain to you. Many of our clients, they work, they pay their bills, they pay taxes. Then after 5 years or 7 years, they will be a citizen of United States. Many of them, they go to quality universities. Many of them. And they are very, very successful. So with that kind of groups we are working, we develop the job. Always we call companies, new companies, we go to them and we tell them about our people, how dependable they are, how hard workers they are. And then if they hire them, they will be satisfied, they will like them. And this is the kind of job we do. So we are located in 635 and in LBJ. Many of from this Jesuit school, many of them, they come there and donate a lot of things there. So you can come and visit it at any time. It is Catholic Church of Dallas, Abrams, and 635. You can come there, visit what we do. You can see them, the clients. You could see us, the job counselors, So anytime, talk with your teachers, and if you want to visit, it is open, the door you can come and visit us. Thank you very much, and I hope, when you are graduate, you will help the refugees, asylees, and you will help, it is helping the community, helping the United States. So thank you very much. I want you to be very happy because of United States. Many of the refugees, their chances are wonderful. This country don't think it is only the country. This is a peace place. For many of the refugees, this is the opportunity, the place where they can live. Unless you mess up with the law or with the government things, nobody is going to ask you. I had been 29 years here, nothing. I never get any problems at all. I live with peace. I have 6 children. All of them, they graduate from the university. They are working. My last daughter is a registered nurse. She's in Washington, D.C. So at the others, I have a chemical engineering. I have people. I had 2 children. One of my child, he was in Iraq. He was in the Navy, he was in the Marine, and he's an accountant. I have one child, one son, also is working in the financial department. I have a daughter, she's working for the mortgage department because all of them, they get their degree. They're proud to live here. They're very fantastic. They are doing good because they learn here. They went through the college in here. So if you work hard, there is a lot of opportunity. You could be a president even, in this country. So thank you very much.
Do you have any questions?
Gentlemen, before you leave, we need to leave the space
Time.
very clean. So could you please help us to help people?
Very good. Thank you. Did I see you before? Where did we see each other? I think I saw you.